Volume 7, Chapter 5. We see Fria for the first time. Although we don't really know she's Fria, but we do know she's a maiden, because the maiden melodies play in the score. The vibe is supposed to be solemn and delicate, so we start with a solo piano. Later we get backed up by the music box, which is the fable-ish instrument that is usually associated to the maidens and their fairy tale.
That's the Winter Maiden.
After the maiden theme, when Weiss realizes who Fria really is, Winter theme starts playing. It seems this score wants to put emphasis on the identical opening of the two melodies. I feel it's parallel to the cliche of winter sharing her name with the season. Even the words Winter Schnee, Winter Maiden start with the same two syllables and then lead to identify a different idea. Winter Schnee, Winter Maiden. How many jokes have been made by the fandom about Winter Schnee becoming the Winter Maiden? It seemed so obvious that it would have been too cheap for RWBY to actually go with it. But it did it anyway. The show acknowledged the pun and confidently went with it. But may I interrupt this video to say, yeah, happy birthday to Sara! Oh wait, it's not a birthday, she just increased the pledge on my Patreon. She just entered the $5 tier, which means her new benefit is that she can request videos. Be gentle. When Winter theme plays over her exchange with Weiss, it's different, adapted to the Maiden theme that previously played. How? We already touched upon its transposition to a matching pitch, but we didn't talk about rhythm. The time signature is altered in Winter's theme to match that of the Maidens. They're in 3/4. This gives us a brand new perspective on the melody. There is a lot more space between the notes. The root notes are elongated, giving the supporting left hand a spotlight with its soothing arpeggios. In the growth of this piece, the empty space is also filled with embellishments from the string section, giving the progression a natural flow. One of the changes that contributes the most to the delicate lullaby vibe is that the 4 approach notes in the second measure have the same duration as the 2 in the first measure. They would usually be twice as fast in one quick motion that brings us to the ending phrase of the melody. However, in this score, they don't even get faster than the arpeggio. They have a rhythm that doesn't at all try to break any boundaries, and that steadily brings us to this B flat. Speaking of chords, let's talk about keys. Most of the score is based around D. The Maiden theme starts in D Dorian. For those of you who aren't fresh with keys, well, they're essentially groups of notes you can pick from to create chords with. A chord progression in a key has a specific vibe that our brain subconsciously recognizes. D Dorian is a particularly bright minor key with no flats or sharp. This can be seen at the start of the score after the treble clef. Any flats or sharps in the key would appear in this region. This is what's called a key signature. As we go on, we find a key change in the Maiden melodies, and another one on the determinate chords after Winter's theme. These new key signatures add each an extra flat to the key. Usually in music, adding flats darkens the mood of a song, making it more serious and dramatic. On the last chords of the sequence, Winter theme gets played by a music box. The fairy tale parallels are reinforced. I'd like to point out a subtle effect independent from the score. When Weiss realizes that her sis will become a maiden, a low frequency boom can be heard as a cue to her visible surprise. I thought maybe not everybody noticed it, but definitely heard it if they've seen the chapter. Unless you're deaf. In which case, why are you watching a music theory video? I guess Beethoven could get away with it. Keep it up, guys. Winter is going to become part of a fairy tale, a legend. This is not only cited by the clever similarity to the Maiden theme, which is parallel to the coincidental pun between her name and the season, but especially by the inclusion of the music box as an instrument which is stereotypically associated to lullaby. The new time signature, which stretches out some fast passages, making them more easily singable, makes the sound all more soothing, as if the fable of the maidens was being recited to a child at bedtime. This rendition of the fable includes Winter. Winter is going to become a fairy tale. No, as if the fable were being recited to a child at bedtime. This rendition of the fable